People say that what belongs to you will always find its way back, and what doesn't belong to you will burn your hands when you try to steal it. This is the story of two identical twin sisters. They looked exactly the same, but their hearts were nothing alike, and one sister's greed bought her a first-class ticket to humiliation. In the busy city of Atlanta, Georgia, lived the Carter twins, Emily and Olivia. Identical faces, but different souls. Emily was the older twin by just 5 minutes. She was kind, hardworking, and humble. She worked as a nurse at Atlanta General Hospital, often doing extra shifts to help patients who had no family. She treated everyone the same: doctors, janitors, security guards. "Ma'am, drink this tea," she would tell an elderly patient gently. "It'll help the headache." She was the pride of her parents. Then there was Olivia. If Emily was calm water, Olivia was gasoline waiting for a spark. Olivia hated work. She spent her days on Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat, dreaming about the luxury lifestyles she saw online. Private jets, designer bags, fancy vacations. "God, when will it be my turn?" she would sigh, staring at influencers on her phone. While Emily wore her hospital scrubs with dignity, Olivia wore outfits that made their parents shake their heads in stress. If the twins stayed quiet, nobody could tell them apart. But the moment they spoke, the difference was obvious. Emily spoke with kindness. Olivia spoke with attitude. One day, Emily met someone online. His name was Daniel Brooks. Daniel was a veterinarian who worked in Alaska. He was calm, humble, and deeply spiritual. Unlike the men Olivia chased online, Daniel wasn't flashy. No sports cars, no flexing on social media, but he had a good heart. Emily and Daniel spoke every night for 6 months on video calls. They talked about life, faith, family, and dreams. Eventually, they fell in love. Olivia thought the whole thing was ridiculous. "You've been talking to this guy for 6 months and he hasn't even bought you an iPhone," she scoffed. Emily just smiled. "He's a good man, Liv. We talk about the future, not phones." Olivia rolled her eyes. The future doesn't buy designer bags. But then, something happened that changed everything. One afternoon, a FedEx truck stopped outside their house. The driver handed Emily a large envelope. Inside was a passport, a visa, a plane ticket, and a letter. Daniel had arranged everything. Emily's flight to Alaska was in days. They were getting married. Olivia stared at the passport photo. Because they were identical twins, it looked exactly like her. And suddenly, a dark idea crept into Olivia's mind. Why should boring Emily get the dream life? Why should she marry a man who lived abroad? That life belonged to her. That night, Olivia ordered dinner for them. Pizza, wine, and Emily's favorite fruit juice. But inside Emily's drink, Olivia crushed 4 strong sleeping pills. "To your new life," Olivia smiled, raising her glass. Emily raised hers. "To family." 30 minutes later, Emily was fast asleep. Olivia moved quickly. She dragged her unconscious sister into the basement storage room and locked the door. Then she packed Emily's suitcase, took the passport, the ticket, and the engagement ring Daniel had sent. She looked in the mirror, removed her heavy makeup, and tied her hair in a simple bun. She put on Emily's modest clothes. "Mirror, mirror," she whispered, "who's the future Mrs. Brooks?" The next morning, she told their parents Emily had already left early for the airport. They hugged her goodbye, not knowing they were hugging the wrong daughter. At the airport, Olivia was terrified. When TSA checked her passport, her heart nearly stopped. But they waved her through. She was on the plane. She smiled as the plane lifted into the sky, imagining luxury houses, shopping sprees, a rich husband, the perfect life. But when she landed in Anchorage, Alaska, reality began to crack. The air was freezing, snow covered everything. And Daniel wasn't standing beside a luxury car. He was wearing a heavy jacket and muddy boots. "Emily," he shouted happily, hugging her. She forced a smile. "Hi, honey." Then he said the words that made her stomach drop. "Welcome to the farm." Daniel didn't live in a city. He lived on a remote veterinary farm in rural Alaska. His work involved delivering baby animals, caring for injured livestock, and working long hours outside in the cold. His cabin was beautiful but simple. No luxury, no shopping malls, no nightlife, just forests, animals, and silence. The next morning at 4 a.m., Daniel knocked on her door. "Morning prayer," he said cheerfully. Olivia nearly cried. Then came chores, cleaning stalls, feeding animals, shoveling snow. Her expensive wig froze into ice. Her manicured nails broke within 2 days. But the worst moment came 4 days later. Daniel walked into the kitchen smiling. "I've missed your cooking," he said. "Make that amazing lasagna you told me about." Olivia froze. Emily could cook. Olivia couldn't boil pasta without burning it, but she was too deep in the lie, so she tried. She threw random ingredients into a pot: cheese, sauce, uncooked noodles, spices. 30 minutes later, she served it proudly. Daniel stared at the plate. "Emily, what is this?" "It's modern-style lasagna." Daniel slowly stood up. Then he said something that made her blood run cold. "You can't cook," he continued. "You're afraid of blood. You don't know our church hymns. And yesterday, I saw a tattoo on your ankle." He stared directly at her. "Emily hates tattoos." Then his phone buzzed. He looked at the screen and turned it toward her. It was a photo of Emily, holding today's newspaper, standing in a police station in Atlanta. The message read, "The woman with you is my twin sister. She drugged me and locked me in a basement." Olivia collapsed into the chair. "You stole your sister's identity," Daniel said quietly. Olivia began crying. "I just wanted a better life." Daniel sighed. "You thought you were stealing a golden ticket." Then he revealed something she never expected. "My real last name isn't Brooks. I'm Daniel Brooks Adams." Olivia gasped. The Adams family owned several major shipping companies. They were billionaires. "I left that life," Daniel said. "I was tired of women who loved money instead of character. I tested Emily for 6 months. She passed every test." Then he looked at Olivia with disappointment. "And you proved exactly why I left." Daniel didn't call the police. Instead, he bought Olivia a return ticket home. But it had 3 long layovers, and the trip took almost 2 days. When she finally arrived in Atlanta, she looked terrible. Hair messy, makeup ruined, still wearing a thick winter coat in the hot Georgia weather. People stared. Some laughed. When she reached home, her parents were waiting. Emily was sitting beside them, alive, safe, and very disappointed. Also standing there was a lawyer. "Miss Olivia Carter," the lawyer said calmly, "you are facing possible charges for kidnapping and identity fraud." Olivia fell to her knees crying, but Emily raised her hand. "Wait." She looked at her twin. "I won't press charges." Olivia sobbed with relief. "But you will work," Emily said firmly. "You will pay back every dollar Daniel spent because of your lie." Olivia nodded through tears. For the first time in her life, she understood something important. Some lives are built with character. Others collapse under greed. And no matter how identical to people look, their hearts will always reveal the truth.